I'm John Horn at the LA Times.
I'm Steve Zeitchik with the LA Times.
Kind of a quiet weekend at the box office, wouldn't you say, Steve? Are you going to be lining up to go see Date Night?
You know, it's a little bit of a quiet weekend, but Date Night is the kind of movie with Steve Carell and Tina Fey both having huge TV followings. The tracking is doing reasonably well, but let's not forget another element here. Sean Levy directing it. Sean Levy, the sort of...
Night at the Museum auteur.
Yes, and I'm sure he brings some of his Fellini-esque vision to this film, but the guy's had a string of about 8 hits. It's like a DiMaggio-esque consistency.
I actually think this movie's going to overperform because I think people like my wife are dying to see a movie like this, and I think the key question is Clash of the Titans. Big opening thanks to 3D. Does it fall 60%? Does it fall 70%? Can Clash of the Titans hold on for one more weekend?
I don't think it does. I think the bloom is off the rose. I think the kids who went to see it last week already went to see it. I think one last thing on Date Night, the kind of brilliance of the marketing hook is that they're calling it Date Night. So they're getting anybody who's thinking about going out for a date to say, wait a second, we're suggestible. This is a date night movie.
Kind of like Valentine's Day.
Exactly.
You and I did a story earlier this week about Iron Man 2, which I think is safe to say is going to challenge Dark Knight for maybe the biggest opening 3-day weekend ever coming out this May.
Well, we've looked at some of the research, some of the tracking, and it really is insane how high these numbers are. Now, obviously, they're not gospel, but when you think that it's a sequel, and sequels always tend to build audiences, you think about Robert Downey Jr., the star of the film, having a tremendous amount of appeal among women. We did the post, and we said, teenage girls, it's showing a little bit of softness, and we had a whole raft of teenage girls write in and say, you know what, I'm going to go see this movie with my friends.
It's a beloved franchise. Downey was really not a movie star before this came out. Jon Favreau was coming off Zathura. I think Iron Man 2 looks to be the biggest movie of the summer. And let's talk a little bit about the art house movies that are out. We got some disagreement from some other distributors, but I think we agree that The Kids Are All Right could be the art house sleeper this summer.
Well, I think it'll be a sleeper. I don't think it'll overperform. But you just wrote about it in your column today. There's really not a lot of breakout movies. I mean, there's usually one or two this time of year. A movie like The Visitor or Sunshine Cleaning that kind of gets in theaters and just sort of plays throughout the spring. We haven't really seen that.
Outside a Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, which I maintain is going to do $10 million when all is said and done. I'm John Horn from the LA Times.
I'm Steve Zeitchik. We'll see you next time.